Good morning. It is August 11th, 2026. My name is Jeff Bruner, and I am so excited to welcome you to another Taco Tuesday. We're back from our summer break, and we are ready to dive right in with presentations from four of our fantastic WiLS vendor partners here to show us some cool stuff from their companies. So I want to keep my introduction short and bring on our first presenter, who is my friend. We've been working together for a long time, Elena Wayne, coming to us from Docuseek. Elena, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can take over.
I just want to say a quick hello, share my face for a moment. Thank you for having me, Jeff.
We're happy to have you.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. And I'm so excited to have this opportunity today to catch you up on many new things that are happening here at Docuseek. We are very excited to be able to come to WiLS and offer another whole part of WiLS the opportunity to use our platform and enjoy our films. So to get on with it, I am announcing the Docuseek Public Library Collection. We are now launched for streaming to public libraries all over the world, and we're bringing you more than 3,000 educational films and cinema to our public libraries, covering all the different important topics that Docuseek is known for. So that is our exciting news. We attended the ALA conference to meet many of you. So if you did drop by, I'm excited to be here to share a little more. Some of the key features of this public library collection, which is very exciting, is unlimited access, fixed pricing. So here you go. You don't have to worry about limits on usage. It's a flat fee. Your whole neighborhood can watch your films without any issues. And a neat thing is public performance rights are included for many of these titles. So programming in the library to cover special events and holidays are available at your fingertips, so you don't have to fund additional programs for public performance rights. The content is unique, and we have multilingual collections in this Docuseek catalog. We try to be ADA compliant. So we'd be very excited to talk to you to learn more about it. You're welcome to do a 30-day trial of this, and we look forward to working with you. Here is a tease of some of the amazing distributor partners that are part of this Docuseek collection, both for academic and for public libraries. These are some of the companies that we work with within the Docuseek collection. So just a little teaser slide to kind of give you a sense of what's included. And now I'm going to move on to the next section of Docuseek, which would be our academic, which I've worked with Jeff for many, many years to bring you the Docuseek complete collection. We are now on our 5th edition. So those that are familiar, our 4th edition was supposed to come to closure in December, but we're ahead of the game here. Our distributor partners have brought us amazing content. So we are introducing the 5th collection a little early this time, and it's going to be introduced this September. This collection will bring 600 titles over 3 years, and we do that so that it's the newest, freshest collection, and it will grow over the next 3 years. A little perk in here is we have included about 200 non-exclusive titles from other places that were never available in a full package. Those titles are now part of this collection. So in essence, you're getting more than the 3,600 when you subscribe to the Docuseek 5th edition. And oops, let me backtrack. The first thing to show you is how to subscribe. We have a 1 year and a 3-year option. Of course, you can get any title individually for 1 year, 3-year, or life of file, but we have an evidence-based program that's been super successful, and this is great for campuses that can't afford to curate our whole collection. They have an opportunity to start to curate those titles that mean the most to their faculty and their campus. So for 1 year, you get unlimited access and you get to keep 10 titles at the end of that year. And then there's the 3-year model with a 40 title. And I put that extra 10 title into that subscription as a bonus for those committing to the 3 years. It is a commitment, but we will allow you to pay that in 3 installments to make it a little bit more affordable. So that is the basic subscription option. Now we have changed our life of file options for you. Originally, you were able to buy the collection for life of file as a whole collection. So it would be all 3,600 titles. And that sometimes isn't affordable for everybody to do. But if you are interested in curating and want to build up your Docuseek catalog, you can buy the collections in 600 title modules, which is basically our edition modules. And as you buy, discounts build, and we have reduced pricing to make it very affordable. And you will be very excited to know that it's a 2-digit number per title, which is pretty amazing for life of file when you break down the costs. So if you find some one-time money that have fallen from the sky, definitely give us a call and we can explain this a little further for you. And that is our 5th edition collection. We also have the Global Environmental Justice Collection. Now, this is a great collection. If you don't have a lot of funding for streaming, this collection is available. It is a grant-funded collection by the Luce Foundation. The titles were picked from faculties at Whittier, Yale, Bates, Brandeis, NYU. There's teachers' guides that come with this collection. And I see there's a little typo here. There's 48 films now. And the neat thing is, the price, and I will sell the price for this, it's $4.95 for a year to get those 48 films. So if you don't have a lot of streaming budget, this is a really important collection to bring, sort of prestigious. Definitely call us and ask us about that. Now, this is the big news, the other big news besides public libraries. Under the Docuseek umbrella, we are excited to introduce some old partners and new partners. New Day Films has joined us, California Newsreel, Video Project, of course, Progda and Good Docs, who have been with us. And now they are all white labels umbrellaed under the Docuseek. Now a little bit more focus on these collections. Besides our 5th edition, Good Docs offers an independent white label collection. Their collection is available for single title purchase, 1-year or 3-year streaming. So definitely call us if you're a Good Docs fan, because we have a lot of amazing titles available. The other collection that's been huge, especially if you have any kind of HSI designation, is our Progda Complete Film Collection. Since we've had it, it's grown to 900 titles. It includes fiction titles too, and it is the best content in Latin cinema. The Progda folk go out to all the festivals and they really handpick the best of the best. So that is our Progda. That's available for individual titles. They have a basic subscription plan. They have an EBA plan, and they offer life of file of the whole collection also. On to some of our new friends here. New Day Films has come to us, and this is a filmmaker-run distributor, so that's very exciting. And they expect to have 400 films on Docuseek by the end of 2027. This collection is available for 1-year, 3-year, life of file, full subscription only, not single title, but full subscription only. So we're able to offer you their whole collection finally. And then another exciting one is California Newsreel. That has been around forever. They are very important titles. And now these titles are available also at this point for 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. And you can give us a call for further information and title lists. And then we have the video project. And they're going to have about 345 films by the end of 2026. Again, another highly curated collection of film many people have been buying from Video Project for quite a few years. So these are all available as full subscription, 1, 3, and life of file. And that's our exciting new information on Docuseek. And this is just a little teaser slide to show you some of the newest releases under the Docuseek catalog that we have. As you can see, it covers many different distributors. Women Make Movies, which is a very important one. By the way, Good Docs has given Docuseek about 52 titles that they have allowed us to put inside our Docuseek catalog. So that's an extra perk that you get. And now, our K-12 collection. Yes, we also have a K-12 collection, and we have handpicked titles appropriate. Of course, you can order any other title you wish, but these are the titles that we found most effective for the K-12 market. Many of you have worked with Julie Wang previously. Julie's still in charge of our K-12 collection. So if you're interested in learning more about it, please feel free to reach out to Julie. It's available 1 year, 3 year, life of file individual titles, and we have a K-12 collection package. Now, this is a content calendar that I sort of put together to let you know that our content applies to all these amazing events and holidays, etc. So there is something to cover every event that might come up that your library might want to honor. So definitely, if you have one of our collections, you'll be able to find content to promote during those particular months. And I can always get you a copy of this content calendar as a reminder. Just let me know. Now, very important, along with that content calendar, we're into marketing. Docuseek wants to make sure that your films get watched when you subscribe. So we have all kinds of tools that are available. If you go to the first screen of Docuseek, go down to the bottom left corner, the word promote will pop up. You can print any of these wonderful flyers. We have about 23 flyers that you see on the left, and we can send you starter kits of some of our materials, but everything is templated where you can also create your own copies of any of these pieces of material we offer. Here we have bookmarks. As you notice, we have QR codes because we know that this generation's face are in their phones and everything. So hopefully they'll see a QR code and go running right to the Docuseek catalog. And we have shelf talkers. We want to thank Hofstra University's Sarah McCluskey for her wonderful idea. That's kind of fun to do so that once they're in your books, they will know to go take a peek at your other collections you have streamed. And that is the nut of it. That is Docuseek this year. So a lot of new things. I hope to hear from many of you. Here is my contact information. And if you want to reach Docuseek in general, you can use the sales at Docuseek too, and reach for any of the departments. Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity, Jeff.
Elena, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Elena and I were talking a little bit before the session, and it's actually been a while since she's joined us for Taco Tuesday. So it's a really nice treat to have you back on the show, Elena.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate it.
I'll reiterate what Elena said. If you've got any questions, obviously you've got her contact information. You can also reach us here at WiLS. We want to make sure that you're getting the information you need. We're so excited to be able to bring Docuseek collections to public libraries as well. It's fantastic. And of course, the K-12 collection is also really popular amongst our members. So I'm excited about that too. And for all of the 5th edition updates. So thank you again so much, Elena.
Early adopter discounts for that public library. So you'll be sharing that soon.
Yes, I will. We're going to be letting everybody know what this amazing discount you're going to be able to get as an early adopter in the public library sector. So thanks again, Elena.
Thank you so much.
All right. So let me share my screen again just to kind of take us to set us up for our next presenter. We're doing great on time. We're right on time, so I'm excited. All right, so coming to us next for today's Taco Tuesday is ClickView. I'm very excited to bring Tim on to talk to us about ClickView. Tim, are you ready to take over?
Yeah, let me share my screen here.
All right, let me stop mine. Sorry, hopefully that
Yeah,
didn't trip you up.
no, not a problem. All right. Oh, there we go. So I just, even before I dive into ClickView, Docuseek, I was a former high school social studies teacher for many years, and many of the amazing things Elena was showing on there were the kind of things I love to have in my class. And even though I'm now 18 years out of the classroom, I still have crates and crates of VHS tapes of great documentaries in my attic. Um, so I saw lots of value there, and it is pretty cool what you guys are putting forth. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tim Powers. I am the regional director for ClickView. And I have been thankful to be working with both WiLS and Wisconsin school libraries for we are just about 20 months now. So this was the end of our first full school year supporting WiLS and Wisconsin school librarians. We had come in about the half year point the year before. Um, and it has been another great year of learning and growing our product with feedback from Wisconsin school librarians. And that's kind of what I want to focus in on today. Being that we just have 15 minutes, I don't want to dive into a full demo. I really want to just kind of give you an understanding of the things that we've learned have resonated in Wisconsin schools as they've adopted or piloted or explored ClickView over the last year, year and a half. And I want to kind of show you how we are using that to continue to grow ourselves and to continue to support districts in seeing instructional short form video in a little bit of a different way. So first and foremost, we got to dive into a little bit about what ClickView is. For those of you who have not heard of us, we are short form everyday video made for librarians, teachers, and students. We are meant to be that video that you could go to when you want to supplement your instruction in the classroom. But the interesting thing, most importantly, that we've learned over the last 18 months as we talk to people is it's not that people are saying, hey, Tim, we need more video. Teachers, librarians, students are already using a ton of video. The question that continues to come up is whether we can make the video that they're already using easier to find, safer to use, and most importantly, more instructionally viable. And those are those kind of three things that we're constantly thinking about as we work on the library. And that's really where ClickView starts. Our concept and our goal is to be one place for high quality, ad-free, vetted instructional video across all of K-12. And what I mean by across all of K-12 is we want to support everything from your kindergarten teachers to your AP chemistry teachers. And we want to look at all subject areas. We don't want to just focus in on the core four. We want to make sure that if your health teacher or your counselor or your careers teacher or your arts teacher or your dance teacher needs a video to integrate in the class, that we're the place that's going to go, that they can go for. And most important in Wisconsin, from what we've learned in building relationships with you all, is that this kind of work in a school starts in a library. The library is that hub of learning. In the library, you all have the ability to see across grades, subjects, classrooms, and you already are the trusted connection between the teachers and the resources that they use. And what we want to do at ClickView is help expand that impact. That is one of the reasons I will say our relationship specifically with WiLS has been so important. It's allowed us an entry point to meet and learn from librarians and really understand what they need and how they're supporting the larger good within their school. And this has led us to a lot of new things in the platform that I'll talk about soon that have come from this work that are ensuring that we're meeting the values that you all need in supporting your buildings. The other key thing is the platform needs to be built for everybody that it's supporting. Again, I'm always going to start with the librarian because for me, that's where it starts. As a librarian, you need something that's been vetted, that's curriculum aligned, and broad enough that you're not just buying something, as I said, for one department or one grade. You also need to know that you have a library that when a teacher asks for a resource, you should be able to say, start here. I trust what's in that library. I trust what's in the ClickView library. That's how this becomes more than just another subscription. It's another way for the library to support what's already happening in the classrooms. And then on the teacher side, we then have to earn their trust as well. Because the best resources in the world have zero value if a teacher doesn't use it. And if a teacher doesn't trust something, again, we know they're not going to integrate it into the class. So we put a lot of emphasis on making ClickView easy. We want you to be able to find something quickly, clip a video if you just need a small section of it, add questions of it within it to make it something that is an active part of student learning and not a passive part of student learning. We want you to put it into the classroom without having to create a lot more work. So make something that is efficient for teachers to use. The goal isn't to give them another thing to do. It's to make something they're already doing a little bit easier and better. And then third, and most importantly, what we're all here for is the students. When we sometimes think about educational video, we only think it as something that a teacher puts in front of a class. But students are searching too. I think Elena just said, getting QR codes in front of students. They are digital first. Video is part of their research process. It can be a really powerful tool for self-discovery and for any research that they're doing. They're exploring a topic for a project. They're trying to understand something they didn't quite get in class, or they're following up on a question simply because they're interested in it. And that's kind of what we want them to be able to self-discover in the platform. And again, it's another place where the library makes that connection. Instead of sending students out to the open web and hoping that they find something useful, you're giving them a trusted, safe, vetted place to explore and uncover learning on their own. No ads, vetted content, accessible resources, and the freedom for that student to kind of be curious without wondering if they're going to land on something they're not supposed to see. So it's not just about what the teacher puts on a screen. It's also about what happens when a student is exploring the resources. And when a teacher does want to use video instructionally and kind of make it, again, go back to that concept of let's make video active and not passive, we can take it one other step. This is where the three audiences of library, teacher, student come together. For the librarian, you've got the vetted content aligned to Wisconsin standards that your teachers need access to. And again, we're not talking about a video library around one subject. It's all subjects, all grade levels. For the teacher, we've now made it easy to find the right video, but we don't want it to end there. They can take any trusted video in ClickView and build interactive questions directly into it. So of our 13,000 videos, you can make every video on the platform interactive. For some of those, we've already built the interactives in, but it's that concept that we want you to be able to embed questions that tie the learning to the greater aspect. And then we want to give you the real-time analytics of what students are doing with those questions, because we want to check student understanding and give that shoulder time and to re-engage if a student is having a struggle area or wants to know more. So now video isn't simply 6 minutes of, I hope a kid's paying attention. It's actually something students are doing something with as part of the learning process. They're answering, they're thinking, they're demonstrating their understanding. And that's what we've been trying to do in Wisconsin. And it has been kind of one of our happiest places to work because of the openness of the librarians we work with. The feedback we're getting from the districts we work with is helping us grow. We're listening. And I don't just mean we're listening to see where sales need to move or what we need to say. We're listening to see how ClickView can grow as a platform. Just in the last 18 months from Wisconsin librarians, a few things have happened. Conversations with Wisconsin librarians have led to product development such as expanding our documentary offerings, taking a step from just having short form video to long form video, filling in the gap of some of that social emotional learning and kind of time and space filler that teachers can't get in YouTube anymore. That was a push from Wisconsin librarians for us to bring that into the system. And then a super big one was the ability for students to cite the videos that they're using. So at the behest of Wisconsin librarians, every video in the platform is now citable in any format that you could think of directly for students to actually make it a true research tool. And our work isn't just stopping there. So this year, my goal is to also build a Wisconsin School Library Advisory Board. And our goal is simple. We want to continue to learn from Wisconsin librarians who are kind of at that hub center point between what's going on in the classroom, what's going on in the larger building, and within their library. And that's really where we're going to continue to grow and to make sure that we're growing the platform to really work with you guys. So that being said, I thank you for your time. I can't wait to meet with those of you who I haven't worked with before. I can't wait to continue to support those who we're already working with. But as I keep going back to, our time in Wisconsin has been fantastic because a Wisconsin school librarian is different than those we meet in the rest of the country. You really have the ability to share some great things that are going to drive learning in the classroom and also drive those of us on the ed tech side to really ensure that we're building products that are the right thing for you all. If anybody is still looking for video resources going into the new school year, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to learn more about what you guys are trying to tackle. But again, thank you to you all, and thank you to WiLS for continuing to give us this time to connect with you.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us today for Taco Tuesday. I'm actually really excited about our whole lineup today because we've got some longtime WiLS partners, some newer WiLS partners. I've got order through WiLS partners. I've got an order direct WiLS partner coming up. So we've got the whole gamut of every kind and orientation of WiLS partner. We've got folks appealing to K-12s, appealing to publics, appealing to higher ed. So it's a great lineup, Tim, and you're a huge part of that. I think ClickView has been a tremendous success as a kind of a new partnership for WiLS. We've done a lot of great work together, and I'm really excited about what's going to come next. Thanks so much for sharing with us today. All right, let me go to share my screen again, get us ready for our next presenter, who has joined us for several Taco Tuesdays. I'm excited to have back with us, representing AWE Learning, Brad Gray. Brad, I'm going to stop sharing my screen if you're ready to take the reins here.
Sure, happy to do it. Right. Everybody should be able to see my screen.
Yep, you're seeing slides right now.
Sure. I'll introduce my name is Brad Gray. I work with AWE Learning. I work specifically with public libraries and school media centers in the great state of Wisconsin. I live in Minnesota, so I'm very familiar with the Midwest and the educational needs and the trials and tribulations and the celebrations that occurred in our public spaces across the Midwest. I also serve out west and in the South, so it's interesting to see the variety of needs across the nation and also understand the sheer value put on education, particularly at the very early learner stage in Wisconsin. I've been working with WiLS since 2009, so this is a really great experience to be part of this. Those of you that are library members or school members, a great shout out to you to support WiLS, as well as to support all the vendor partners, including AW and those that I've been part of in the past. I'm going to start today and just focus our energy on the changing landscape or the changing learning trends within youth learning, specifically in the wheelhouse of those that are pre-reader all the way up through 12-year-olds. And so what AWE does is they focus on the learning outcome for helping that child become exposed to education, whether it's through their public library, which is our wheelhouse, or as a supplement or a call out within a school setting. This first slide is a really good benchmark that I point out often, and it's super duper important for those on this call as well as listening to the playback to get your arms around this and know that you are making an impact in Wisconsin. If you look here, you'll see that this is a national report card that's done from the testing from schools around the United States, and there's a number of different tests, but for the grade 4, which this one is, for the fourth graders, they test their basic math and their proficiency levels in math and reading, and you can see that across Wisconsin, it's pretty on the median for the nation, which is a good thing. I mean, we're doing something right in Wisconsin. However, all kids are struggling, and all kids are seeing technology actually as a way to help them increase their abilities. It's also a distraction. So it's really important that we realize that, yes, 77% of Wisconsin has a basic math competency once they reach fourth grade, and 61% in reading, but that also still leaves 3 out of 10 and 4 out of 10 that are not. And with the education system so strong in Wisconsin, it's really great that we have public library to help families support that, supplement that, and help the kid become exposed at the age level that they're at, and that will be the way that they will grow over time. So that's why I wanted to point that out as we get going, and that's what we're going to talk about and how AWE kind of fits into that journey and that conversation for that. So I'm going to start here. Just a quick. This is a lot of words, but only I have that only because I know that Jeff will send the presentation I have here out later on. But that we've been around for 30 years and we've had one purpose, and that is to improve community impact at that early emerging educational standard. So we started at age with the 2-year-olds to have just basic introductions to technology and all the different subjects that are kind of fun, and then all the way up through the early schooling. And we have over 100 Wisconsin libraries that use our services. And across the nation, 49% of all the library buildings have one form or another of our service and one configuration or another for our service, all focused in on that early child. Everything we've done is research backed, and that's what guides us forward. And we also are learning the incredible impact and challenge that libraries face when it comes to helping kids with the early learners, particularly because their age level doesn't necessarily correspond with their age. And so, like in school, it's pretty much close graded, as they say, or at least when I was in school, they called it close grading. You know, I did 4th grade material in 4th grade, for example, and I was a reluctant reader, so I really struggled. I kind of struggled along the way through my education simply because I couldn't read very well. I had vision issues that made it so I had to read really slow, so I couldn't keep up. I also am a kinesthetic learner, so I learn by doing, pushing buttons, doing stuff. I love art because it's, very physical and so on. And that's not the case for everybody. And that's very difficult for a library to offer services that are not 100% consumable or are damaged easily or whatever, or a technology that there's just swipe and wipe where they just look at it and keep on going and not really, have a meaningful experience with what they're watching other than just pure entertainment. So that's what we do is we serve that wider community, and we also give tools and configuration options for libraries to offer that to that younger group, as well as for the library for all and neurodivergent community that needs a different type of experience, but they need to have access to all the experiences like everybody should have. And that's the beauty of how we worked on that through the way we do our research-based development. What I'm going to talk about here for a lot of the rest of my time, before I just talk a little bit about what our AWE experience does, is to talk about how the trends are changing. I thought leadership for today is a good spot, a point in time that librarians are struggling. They're struggling by both time management, operational overhead stresses, doing more with less. People are in positions that they weren't originally trained for, so they're kind of learning it bespoke just from what they've been assigned to, or they've gone from library to library and they have very different ways of doing things. And so time is a real precious commodity, as well as the needs and expectations of the community. It isn't just a hands-off, look what's here, everything's great at the library. The communities are getting more and more emboldened to be able to speak to what they want and what they expect that they want and when they expect to have it. And that's not easily maintained in a community. Rather, the community has 500 residents or 500,000 residents. It doesn't matter. It's the same challenge from what we see across the country and in Canada and around the world. And so the simple thing that we want to accomplish is to provide a solution to that theme. We hear this all the time, is that there is more and more need for having long-term value rather than just disposable transactional value from learning content and fun content at a library. They also need to do it with a predictability. They want to know that their kids are going to have access to it. There's not going to be a barrier for them, because remember, these kids are 4 or they're 8. They're not the most technically sophisticated. So logins and things like that are just not an option. So everything is not, it's solved that way with no login. We also know that it has to be a turnkey item. So the staff need to be able to offer it with confidence and know that what they've spent to bring it in and the setup, it's just going to work. And the kids are going to enjoy it. And knowing kids, they're durable. We have one librarian, as a fact, in Montana that called me that about a week after they bought their new machine, somebody decided to show off their karate kick and smash the screen with their boot. And so it still worked, but the screen has a boot imprint on it. So the things just are meant to, take a little bit of damage or just a lot of effort in their workload. They also are telling us that they need to be able to serve that multiple age group and that ability. And the fact that these workstations or the models you see a little picture there of the 3 kids playing on them, is that they need to be configurable over time, because you either don't have the need or you don't have the budget, but you have the definite opportunity to serve that primary age group or that need when you're buying it initially. And you don't want to be stuck with just that over time. So you have to be able to have a technology that is secure and safe and adaptable, but then also grows with you over time. And a shout out as an example, I know Margie is on today, but that was coincidence because I was going to bring it up anyway. Oshkosh Public Library is a perfect example of that. If you're familiar with the Oshkosh area, it serves a very, close-knit community, but it also serves a wider audience outside in the, the outside regions of that area. I've been there many times. It's just a great community. But they did not start with everything. They started with a smaller collection. The technology worked. They loved it. And as they've grown with its popularity, the kids' usage actually has said that they needed to offer some more challenges. And so they've done that. So over time, they've just incrementally added some more content for those kids to be challenged by. Both the young ones then have the ability to have more challenges. The older kids, if they need a little help in certain subject areas, they can do that. It also offers a new, like a neurodiverse experience. So the kids that need that structure have that capability built right into the system. And that's something that they've appreciated and grown with over time. So shout out to them. It's great. So the big thing for in education, any of the other presenters that are on know this, and you probably know this as well, is that offering single type of resources is difficult to serve across the gambit of all the different learning styles and rates that the people learn. So whether you're having the visual or, a verbal, a social, or they need a personal education plan or an IEP in the education world, it's solvable and it can be done. And we feel we've done a pretty good job doing that. Our newest version is called version 4. We number our versions, so we have libraries that have different versions over a number of periods of years, whether they upgrade or they just are using the durable ones they've had for years and years. But we focus in on the 4 main areas to service within the library. We want the youth to learn, clearly. And so we want to make sure that they have the abilities. And with this newest version, we've added free reader screens and some volume controls to make it easier for the kids to have more self-discovery, fun while they're learning. The staff need to be able to have it so it's hands off with them. They just basically know it's there, it works. They can incorporate it into programming as it makes sense. And so we've made it more configurable and customizable, and you can even pre-set up a customized view or experience and schedule it, and it'll automatically turn on that specific date and then turn off after that date. So if you had a Lego Legothon activity, you could have some engineering and some technology games show up without having to have the kids, hunt through all of them for them. The technology staff, particularly now with Windows 11, and that's been a real headache for a lot of libraries that have to convert all of their materials to be in technology to be Windows 11 compatible. Ours come equipped with Windows 11, or like in Oshkosh's case, they have a pathway to get Windows 11 included with their current version unit. So it's a really great, again, adaptability is the key. And the administrators like it because they can get real usage statistics. So many things in the children's world have high checkouts, but that doesn't mean the kids are actually using it or learning from it. And this allows them to do that. So that is something that we're really pleased with, that the statistics are actual usage down to the second of usage. And it also has options based on how you have it configured to either be an offloaded report, like an Excel file report, or it's pushed out to a secure customer portal in real time. So it gives them the options to do what they need to do. So I'm going to end with this slide here, that the whole goal around is for the kids, that's been mentioned before, is to make sure that they have better chances to explore and do things on their own and have that empowerment. And so everything is self-discovery, play-based, and so on. So the nuts and bolts of this, of how we work, is that we've worked with WiLS for years and years. We have a specific WiLS cooperative purchasing site that has a whole bunch of information, a bunch of really helpful links that Jeff and I have put up over time. And so I encourage you to take a look. Obviously, I also can get you everything possible, and my contact information will be supplied, and you can see it on the screen as well. We also have WiLS pricing, and we also have library loyalty pricing and a number of different incentives and things like that based on what configurations you're looking at working from. All of our support, when you need a little helping hand, either with how to use it and or the technical issues, it's all US-based support. So you're going to be talking to a live person, or you're going to be communicating with them, or they can, do a live session right into the computer if you wanted to help you. And so there's lots of different options, and that's all included with the warranty period that you might have. So with that, Jeff, I think I'm going to be done. So you can take the screen back if you'd like. And thank everybody. And again, thanks to the 100+ libraries in Wisconsin that have used us so far. Hope we can get a little more across the gambit. And of course, a special shout out to Oshkosh, since they have now over time grown with this complete theory of adapting the education to their community over time. And it's working out really well. So appreciate everything that they do as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Brad. It's always exciting to have you here. I'm really thrilled. What great serendipity that we had someone from OPL here today, just when you were going to highlight them as a longtime AWE customer. So that's super.
Yeah, total coincidence, and that's just the beauty of Taco Tuesday.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, totally. So thanks again, Brad. And again, anybody watching, I mentioned earlier, we've got an order direct vendor partner here. That's AWE is one of our vendor partners. So long-time cooperative purchasing users may not even know we actually have a pretty robust catalog of vendor partners that you can transact directly with them and still realize some really great savings by being a WiLS vendor partner. And AWE is
Yeah.
right at the top of that list, one
Yeah.
of our favorites. So thanks
Yeah.
so much for having us, Brad.
Yeah. And Jeff, just a shout out for that. I just got contacted from the folks at Port Washington at Niederkorn through your site.
Yay!
So it is a perfect example of that cross-pollination. That's the beauty of this type of cooperative relationship. So that's, of course, that's why I'm part of it. So it's great.
Well, thanks again for joining us, Brad, and for showing us around. All right, let me share my screen one more time here to get us ready for our last presenter. If you can believe it, the time has flown and we are already to our last presentation. Joining us, representing News-O-Matic is Lance. I said we had longtime vendors and newer vendors. News-O-Matic's one of our newer vendor partners, and we are really excited about them. So, Lance, are you ready to take over?
Absolutely. I'm going to share. Oh, it's asking me to send you a request.
All right. Sorry, I got out too late, but hopefully now it'll let you do it.
There we go. Perfect. That should be good.
Great.
All right. Beautiful. Jeff, thank you. Appreciate it. As Jeff had mentioned, News-O-Matic is one of the newer collaborative partners with WiLS. It's been a little over a year that we've been doing this with WiLS, and it's been absolutely wonderful. Right now, as it sits, we're in over 30 districts across Wisconsin, helping support library media services and the districts as a whole with News-O-Matic. Pretty soon, we're going to get to say we're in over 40. But I'll hold off on that for right now. But Jeff, thank you for allowing us to do this. We did do one back in the early spring time, but since then we've had some enhancements that I always like to share. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of jump into some things here. We're going to do more of a little walkthrough so you get an idea of News-O-Matic. And then as always, I am the main point of contact for anything and everything for those that we have that are attending that you guys that I've had the pleasure of working with. You can just reach out to me and I'll make sure everything gets handled for you internally. And then the other piece is, as Jeff had mentioned, we are partnered, so you guys do have special pricing to go through WiLS in order to acquire News-O-Matic, and we're always happy to help. But it's a kind of a back and forth that I'm always happy to chat and want to do whatever's best for you guys. All right, now News-O-Matic. Right now, we are logged into the teacher's dashboard, if you will. The whole point of this is just a one-stop shop for everything within News-O-Matic. We always like to say that we want it to be quick, easily accessible for both students and staff, and simple. So here you've got your kind of daily pieces that you can kind of jump into. You've got your individual items there. You can navigate down through and look at the different ones, of course. You could also see a little ticker at the bottom here. It gives you the news of what's going on with News-O-Matic, keeping you up to date with all of the changes and enhancements. Back to school is usually our time, obviously, when we launch new pieces. And I'm excited to show you one of the ones that we've got from the feedback that you guys have been able to provide. And then over here, you can kind of jump into more of the individual subject areas, or you can jump into more of the customizable pieces with that of the assignments, custom units, and so forth, or the data if you'd like to do that. But again, the whole point, click or two of a button, you're where you need to be. Now, if we click on the News-O-Matic logo, like I mentioned, you can click the individual tiles and it'll take you there, but I'm just going to click the logo. What it's going to do is it's going to bring you to kind of the very top. Now, News-O-Matic, we are a daily nonfiction resource that supports ELA, science, social studies, character education, media literacy, variety of areas, okay? So what we do, and we're a little bit unique in the way that we do things with News-O-Matic, every single day, so each time you see me click a button, that's a day. Every single day, Monday through Friday, each day, we are turning out 5 new nonfiction pieces, okay? These nonfiction pieces are all built from scratch internally by our own writers and our own editors on staff, okay? So their whole role is to create this nonfiction content. The nice thing about creating all of our own content is that we get the opportunity to be able to ensure that it is unbiased. The whole role of ours and our opinions, they don't matter. We don't have them. We're just providing nonfiction information, and the students are supposed to be able to help develop an understanding and their own opinions through reading it, through their conversations with classmates, teachers, and then also their parents at home. Okay. Now, the other part that keeps us unique is everything that we do, we pass by our on-staff child psychologist to ensure classroom appropriate, age safe, and then of course, again, unbiased. Okay. Now, I hope you're noticing as we're bouncing down through here that we are colorful, we are image heavy, we are trying to be attractive to these readers, and with a renewal rate of, we're sitting right at about 92% right now. We hover anywhere between about 88% and 93. Right now, we're hovering at 92% across the nation with News-O-Matic for the renewals. We like to think that we are creating engaging content for the students and staff for them to be able to want to continue to come back. The nice thing is we've been around for now over 15 years. With News-O-Matic, and so we have not only access to all of the daily pieces, but you have access to over 17,000 nonfiction articles throughout News-O-Matic and over those 15 years that you can search down through it. Okay, now if we wanted to jump into an article just to get a little bit of an idea here, so Washington Crossing State Park, sure. Right. So if we jump into it, just give you the lay of the land across the top here, we've got our engagement features, a couple pages of those. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got our teacher tools. Again, these are only seen by the teachers. And then we've got a couple more engagement pieces. And then on the left-hand side here, we've got our accessibility features. Okay. Now, the big thing to note with News-O-Matic is this is just a wide variety of ways for us to manipulate the content of News-O-Matic to further help support the varying needs of students. Okay. Now, big thing to note, all of our content comes in 5 different Lexile level ranges, as low as 300 and as high as 1200. As an educator and as a librarian, we know that you're working with different groups, whether it be pull-up for enrichment, intervention, station rotations. There's a variety of capacities there that we want you to be able to use News-O-Matic for, so you can pop back and forth between the different Lexile level ranges. You'll see it instantaneously changes. And then the nice thing to know is that all of our questions are also leveled per the Lexile level range as well. So you're going to be able to see here simple multiple choice recall on the low end, but if we jump to the over 1100 for the high end of this, you see it instantaneously changed. And then we've got different multiple choice, more open-ended, more analysis, more opinion for them to be able to dig into. Okay. Now, one of the pieces that I wanted to be able to share is for those that are watching on the replay, or those that are here with us now that are using News-O-Matic, it's not accessible for you yet. We haven't launched it live yet. We are getting there. But right now I have the opportunity to kind of show it is this activity generator. So one of the big conversations throughout the year has been able to what accompanying pieces can we provide to make it easier on educators to be able to utilize News-O-Matic in this kind of ever shifting dynamic to whether it is in print or it is in digital. So the beautiful thing is you can print every article, every question, and every answer within News-O-Matic. So you can have that kind of paper or hard copy in front of them if you'd like. But the other thing is we now have this AI activity generator. Okay, you can see here it says coming soon because again, we haven't launched it yet completely, but this is one of our biggest back to school enhancements. So the nice thing is it's going to take our article. We've got our different levels here that are Lexile levels, and so we're on level 5 right now. And now we can see if I want to work on reading comprehension, vocabulary, writing prompts, critical thinking, whatever one of these it is, I can click on it. And it is going to be able to generate for me an activity for you to be able to accompany with that article, whether you want to use that as a takeaway for them or if you want it to be done as an assignment later or right then and there, you can absolutely do that. But the beautiful thing is, and I apologize, it's taking a second here, but you get the opportunity. So now we can see that this PDF is curated towards the critical thinking at a level 5 for them to be able to work down through. So you can see that it has 13 different pages for you to be able to dig into. Again, you don't have to use it all, but we're trying to give you a plethora of resources to go with the plethora of content that we now have accessible for you. Okay. And so now you could do those for any one of those areas there at any one of those levels. And it's just going to be a quick grab and go, easy for you to be able to utilize. Okay. Now, another piece within that is every single one of our articles, you get either Google Slide Deck or PowerPoint. We call it the active learning. So it's an opportunity to be able to dig into the different pieces for them. So one second, I gotta pull it over, sorry. Boop. So this is an editable, quick grab and go. You can use it to enhance, or you can use it as a standalone lesson for them, but you get some tips and tricks. We've got some student learning objectives. Again, it's all editable, so you can completely do what you'd like with it. And then you've got the opportunity for those discussion questions, some vocabulary. And again, if you wanted to change it, you can. We've got our images with some context underneath. And then an opportunity to jump back into the article to do more of those audio visual things that we've got involved in there. And then, of course, those questions. And we always accompany it with our graphic organizers to be able to further help supplement what you've got going on. So those are available for all 17,000 plus articles within there. Now, the other thing about the individual articles is you do have the opportunity for those engagement features here. So if the students can jump in, and again, they can see the different images, they can watch the video. 30 seconds, 3.5 minutes is the ballpark for our videos. We're looking anywhere from first-hand experiences, speeches, interviews with the experts, trying to delve deeper into the content. I do have this kind of quiet, but you're going to be able to hear it completely fine when you guys watch it and everything as well. You can see this one's only 2.5 minutes long. Again, 3.5 is pretty much the ballpark, but we do have with some interviews, with some speeches, they do run over a little bit. But again, you're going to be able to see that. The other nice thing is you do have the opportunity for all the videos. You can download them, grab them, and then put them in a lesson for later if you choose to do that as well. Okay. Now, the other piece is, just jump out of that, with each one of them, we also have the opportunity for them to be read. The difference between our Read to Me feature and others out there is the fact that, one, they're all done by real people. So
huge day for stargazing. 3 stellar events are hitting the skies on August 12th. There is always something to see.
So you can see it will read to the students. Now, the other thing is we've got all of these different languages here. So these are the ones, the 6 languages that we do. The difference for us is all of these languages are actually rewritten by actual individuals, and then those individuals will also read it. So if we jump to Spanish real quick for you, you're going to see instantaneously changes to Spanish. And then the other beautiful part is with Spanish, we do a little bit more. Besides just the translation, we give you 2 different Lexile level ranges. Our questions will also be in Spanish. You even have the opportunity, if you wanted to jump into a complete Spanish immersion version where it changes everything, you could click here and it would change it all. But let's listen to what it sounds like.
Un gran día para mirar las estrellas. 3 increíbles eventos celestes llegan al cielo el 12 de agosto.
So we have got an opportunity to be able to hear them read it and everything. And now if we just want to jump back and go back to English where we were, and again, they'll all function like that, but Spanish we do more with, right? And then you've got the opportunity. One of the things that we did, and this was from a lot of the conversations we had across Wisconsin, is now not only do we showcase how to cite News-O-Matic as a source, but we will always and forever have our sources also plainly labeled there where we're getting our information from, who we're interviewing. We like to be obviously very transparent about that as well. Okay, so you have both opportunities there. Simple highlight feature for them to be able to utilize it in different ways if they're doing some research. And then also an interactive map. So the nice thing is it's going to take the location of where that content's coming from, and it's going to take an IP address for us, and it's going to go point A to point B, miles, kilometers, flight time. You can see here, and then a unique measurement, so 4.9 million of those telescopes stretched from point A to B. You can see it gives an additional fact. We can say hello in the official language. So just different opportunities for them to engage. Finally, one of the last little things I want to show you, because there's always more, is the opportunity if we wanted to search, right? We could do a keyword search throughout all, 17,000 plus articles in our archive. You're going to be able to see that we're going to be able to showcase here. You can filter down through in a variety of content areas, variety of topics, Lexile level range, date ranges as well. So you have the opportunity there. For the teachers and the librarians, you also have the opportunity. You don't have to do this part, I do, but you can see that you can search down through your different state-specific standards to also pull up items by anywhere K to 8, because that's what we concentrate on. And then lastly, just the units. These are units that are built out. You can build your own and share them across the district, or you can do ones that we've already had. And so you can see this one has 24 different articles in it that are across the years that help support exploration and discovery. And so you have the opportunity, you can share it with staff, you can share it over to the students as well. But right now we've got over 160 of them. We add 1 to 3 per month of those units, and we've got them broken down for you to be able to dig deeper into it as well. Okay. Overall, that's the quick nitty-gritty of News-O-Matic. I'm always happy to answer questions, dig in deeper, or do an overview for you and your staff. Just let me know. I know my information is accessible through Jeff and through WiLS. But again, appreciate the time, appreciate all the partnerships we've gained so far over the last year and a half, and look forward to many more in the future.
Likewise, Lance, we appreciate you and thank you for joining the WiLS family here. We're super excited to have News-O-Matic. I agree, it's been a big success. We love it when a new partnership starts bearing fruit right away, and it definitely has. So
Thank you.
let me we're right at time here, so I'm going to share my screen and take us into our kind of closing. I don't know. I almost said closing ceremony, but it seems a little bit grand for what I'm about to do, which is just say, bye. No. So thank you again to all of our vendor partners. I mean, all of our vendor partners, but especially the vendor partners who joined us today for Taco Tuesday. I think it was a great session. We learned a lot. Saw some really cool stuff. And thank you to those of you who have attended live. And for those of you, I know there's more of you who are now watching this in the recorded version. But however you watch Taco Tuesday, we hope that you learned something new today. Please reach out to us, reach out to the vendor partners who spoke to you, and we'll get you whatever information you need. As always, we want to get you the best possible resources for your library at prices that you can bear, that you can afford. So we're off and running. We've got another Taco Tuesday already lined up 2 weeks from today on August 25th. And I can already tell you it's going to be cool as well. It's stormy today here in Wisconsin and everywhere in the Midwest, it seems like. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope if you're watching this in the future that you weathered the storm okay. And I hope Lance gets his power back on sooner than he anticipates. Thanks again to everyone. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.